God's plan for salvation.
And your glasses are now clean.
Thank you. Now tell me, what have you learned so far to be the causes of sin?
Well, I have learned quite a number of causes. Top on that list is the rebellion against God, which happened in the Garden of Eden. People wanted to be like God, and in the process, they angered him.
Correct.
Eating of the forbidden fruit also shows that they failed to obey God. God had firmly told them not to eat the fruits of the tree at the center of the garden, but they ate it anyway.
Agreed.
This also shows lack of trust in God's providence. Temptation by the devil too is a cause of sin, as represented by the snake.
Splendid.
We see Cain killing Abel because he was not satisfied with God's choice. This shows us that lack of satisfaction can cause sin. Still on Cain, we can say that he was selfish.
Would you mind explaining?
Sure. Because of his selfishness, he felt that God's acceptance of Abel's sacrifice was unfair. Had he not been selfish, he would have accepted the situation and brought a better sacrifice that would be pleasing to God next time.
I agree. So, selfishness is another cause of sin.
Yes. Mankind's stubbornness is another cause of sin. We are told that the generation that existed during the time of Noah was stubborn and prone to sin. I also think that lack of knowledge of God causes people to sin.
And you are right again. We can also talk about the Tower of Babel and say that greed for power is a cause of sin. These people wanted to see God and be like Him. They wanted to be all-powerful just like God, and this caused them to sin.
They had really wicked ambitions.
Indeed. Lastly, we can attribute sin to human weakness. The fact that we are weak makes us prone to sin, just like the people at the time of Noah.
So, let me ask, now that Adam and Eve sinned, as well as their immediate descendants, and made God angry, does that mean that God is eternally angry with us?
Well, that is a very meaningful question, my child. It is true that Adam and Eve, Cain, and the people living at the time of Noah made God angry. They broke the perfect relationship that had previously existed between them and God.
And God punished them in different ways, just as you have taught me earlier.
Yes, fortunately for us, God's love and grace is so abundant such that even though He punished mankind, He still showed them that He cared.
Really? Please explain.
Let us go back to the Garden of Eden, to the original sin. After Adam and Eve found out that they were naked, they hid from God,
You
right?
already said that.
God, however, still looked for them in the garden to show that He still cared.
Aha. So God already knew that they were hiding from Him, but He looked for them anyway.
And do you know what He did when He found them?
No, you did not tell me.
Oh, He sewed clothes for them so that they can cover their nakedness.
Wow. That was very loving of Him. Even though Adam and Eve had disobeyed Him, God still cared about their well-being.
Yes, and He did not stop there. He provided them with the knowledge on how to find food, even as they were going to start a new life away from the Garden of Eden. He instructed Adam to till the land, for example.
Yes.
God also hinted to them that they would eventually have victory over evil.
How?
When He told the woman that her descendants would crush the head of the snake, it was also symbolic for mankind defeating the devil.
So the snake also represents evil.
Yes, the defeat of the snake through the woman's descendants is also manifested through Jesus Christ, who brings salvation to the human race.
Wow. So the salvation of mankind through Christ was intended right from the beginning?
That's right. As you continue to read the Bible, you come across other examples of the manifestation of God's plan for salvation.
Please tell me about them.
Well, you will learn about a man named Abraham, who was called by God to stop worshipping many gods and worship Him, the one true God. Abraham faithfully followed God, and through him, God made promises to his descendants, which included salvation for humankind.
Wow.
Later on, you will also learn about the people of Israel and how they went to Egypt and became slaves there. You will also learn about a man named Moses, who was called by God to deliver the Israelites out of Egypt.
Let me guess. And this deliverance is part and parcel of God's plan for salvation.
Yes, you will also learn how important and special the tribe of Israel is.
I can't wait.
And finally, you will learn about the prophet Jeremiah and the new covenant between mankind and God. For now, you can run home and help your mother with a few things.
Sure. Thank you so much, Reverend.
You are welcome, my child, anytime.